Greetings, radiant soul. I'm Luna Celestine, and if you found your way here today, know that it is no accident. Your spirit has heard the quiet whisper of the cosmos, guiding you toward a truth you are now ready to receive. As a Leo, your heart is not just a vessel for love, it is a blazing sun that warms every soul you touch, and yet even the brightest light carries shadows behind it. Today, as Venus prepares to embrace Chiron, in the fierce fire of Aries, a sacred portal opens, one that asks you to look not at what you show the world, but at what you hide from yourself. This is not just an astrological alignment. It is a divine invitation for you, Leo, to heal the heart beneath the roar, to release the pain that has quietly shaped your pride, and to finally allow your vulnerability to be your greatest strength. I invite you now to step into this sacred space with me, where courage meets tenderness, and the love you've always longed for begins within. This portal, Leo, is unlike any you've experienced before. It does not knock politely or wait for permission. It opens with divine force, peeling back the layers of protection you've built around your heart. Not to harm you, but to finally let the light in. The wounds you thought you had buried, the heartbreaks, the betrayals, the moments where your love was not returned, are now rising to the surface, not to overwhelm you, but to be seen, honored, and ultimately released. For too long you have worn your strength like armor, but the stars now ask you to set it down, even if just for a moment, and feel what you've been too brave to feel. This energy doesn't arrive with soft whispers. It roars much like you. And that's why it is so perfect for you, Leo, because it meets you where you are, bold, proud, passionate, and ready. Ready to finally break the cycle of giving love that asks for nothing in return. Ready to see that true healing does not diminish your fire, but refines it. This portal awakens not just your memories, but the unspoken ache beneath them. The part of you that still wonders if you're worthy of a love that sees all of you and stays. And the answer, dear Leo, is yes. What you are feeling now, the emotional intensity, the sudden tenderness, the tears that come out of nowhere, these are not signs of weakness. They are the first waves of liberation. This portal is not interested in superficial healing. It reaches into the root of your patterns, calling you to reclaim the parts of yourself you gave away in the name of love. It invites you to love again, but this time not from your wounds, but from your wisdom. In the 72 hours surrounding June 1st, you will find yourself standing in what I call a healing acceleration chamber, a sacred space, where time bends and old wounds meet new wisdom in a divine collision. During this window, the emotional atmosphere intensifies, not to confuse or burden you, but to catalyze something essential. Memories you thought were long behind you may resurface without warning. You might hear a song, see a face in a dream, or recall a conversation that brings with it the full weight of a past love. And yet this isn't regression, it's recognition. The universe is not dragging you backward. It is giving you a final chance to see those moments through awakened eyes. As a Leo, you may be tempted to power through, to stay composed, to not let the past disturb your present glow. But I urge you, you don't resist this unfolding. Let the ache rise. Let the nostalgia flood your heart. Let the tears fall if they must. Each memory returning is like a messenger holding a piece of the emotional puzzle that your soul is now ready to solve. What once felt like heartbreak might now reveal itself as sacred preparation. What once felt like rejection may now shimmer with the truth that you are being redirected towards something far more aligned. The beauty of this period lies in its intensity. It's not meant to be easy, but it is meant to be freeing. These 3 days are a cosmic invitation to choose differently, to respond to your inner triggers, not with shame or denial, but with compassion and curiosity. The patterns you've replayed, choosing the unavailable, fearing true intimacy, dimming your light to be loved, are no longer hidden in the background. They are illuminated now, offering you a chance to write a new script. And this time, you are not the wounded character. You are the author. During this sacred window, you may begin to notice sensations that defy logic: tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat. When no words are spoken, waves of fatigue that roll in without reason, or dreams so vivid they linger long after waking. These are not mere coincidences, Leo. They are sacred messages from your body and your soul, speaking in a language older than words, signaling that the healing has already begun. Your physical form, brave and majestic as it is, has carried the imprint of every heartbreak, every silenced truth, every time you chose to protect others at the cost of yourself. And now, as this cosmic portal opens, those imprints rise to the surface, not to harm you, but to be released. The pressure in your chest is not just discomfort. It is grief finding its voice. The constriction in your throat is the residue of unsaid truths, those moments you swallowed your feelings to keep the peace. Even the sudden chills or warmth coursing through your body are signs of long, stagnant energy finally beginning to move. Your body remembers what your mind may have forgotten, and now it asks you not to ignore, but to listen. Place your hand where you feel it most, breathe deeply into the sensation, and ask gently, "What are you trying to show me?" As a Leo, you are known for your strength and composure, but this is a time to honor your sensitivity. It is not weakness to feel so much. It is evidence that your heart is alive, awake, and ready to be reborn. These sensations are sacred guideposts, leading you toward the places within that are finally ready to be healed. Trust what you feel. Even if it doesn't make sense, it is part of your soul's remembering. As the light of this alignment grows brighter, so too does its ability to cast shadows into sharp relief. You may begin to see your patterns in love, those quiet unconscious habits you've carried for years, rise to the surface, not as judgments, but as invitations for deep transformation. Perhaps you found yourself repeatedly drawn to those who could never fully show up for you, mistaking intensity for intimacy, or offering your loyalty long before it was earned. Maybe you've dimmed your light to make others feel safe, or abandoned your needs in the name of harmony. These are not failures, Leo. They are adaptations, ways you once protected your heart when it was still learning how to love without losing itself. Now those patterns are no longer hidden. You catch glimpses of them in your reactions, in the stories you tell yourself, in the way you tense when someone gets too close, or chase after affection that feels just out of reach. And while it may feel uncomfortable to see so clearly, this is the miracle of the Venus-Chiron energy. It doesn't shame the shadow, it reveals the gift within it. Your tendency to give too much. It's rooted in your boundless generosity. Your fear of deep connection. It stems from a heart that feels so much, it once didn't know how to protect itself without retreating. This is your moment to rewrite the story. To love without sacrificing yourself. To receive love without questioning if you're worthy. To be seen in your fullness and still choose to stay open. The shadows surfacing now are not here to consume you. They are here to be integrated, to remind you that even the wounded parts of you are sacred, and that healing does not mean becoming someone new, but returning to the truth of who you already are. As this cosmic healing unfolds, the universe will begin to speak to you in ways that defy logic, but stir something ancient within your soul. You may hear a song you haven't thought of in years, one tied to a love that changed you, and suddenly find tears welling up without understanding why. A stranger might mention a name that echoes from your past, or you may stumble upon an object you thought was lost, carrying memories you weren't ready to face until now. These are not coincidences, Leo. These are sacred synchronicities carefully woven into your path to awaken what lies dormant within you. The veil between the physical and spiritual is thinning. And because your heart is more open now, reality becomes a canvas for divine communication. Pay close attention. You might find yourself having the same dream more than once, or seeing repeating numbers at moments when your thoughts are wrapped around love, forgiveness, or longing. You may cross paths with someone who mirrors an old relationship dynamic, not to repeat it, but to offer you the chance to choose differently this time. These signs are not subtle distractions. They are soul-coded messages meant for you alone. And when they come, because they will pause. Let yourself feel the resonance, the quiet certainty that you are not alone in this healing. These moments are whispers from spirit, confirmations that you are on the right path, that your heart's evolution is not only real, but divinely supported. Write them down. Honor them. They are breadcrumbs from the cosmos leading you back to yourself. And then comes the clarity, the kind that doesn't arrive through thought, but through quiet knowing. You begin to understand why certain people had to leave even if their absence once felt unbearable. This understanding isn't cold or detached. It's drenched in compassion, not just for them but for yourself. The truth reveals itself gently. It wasn't that you weren't enough, Leo. It wasn't that they were heartless or that love was never real. It was that both of you were carrying wounds too heavy to hold together, wounds that needed space and time to surface, to breathe, to be seen in their rawness. Sometimes love must fall apart so healing can take place separately. Sometimes the soul knows that the only way forward is to let go, even when the heart resists. Under the light of this Venus-Chiron alignment, you may finally see the wisdom in those endings, not as failures, but as sacred interventions. You might realize that the heartbreak that once shattered you was actually setting you free from a cycle your spirit had outgrown. That person who left may have unknowingly mirrored the part of you that had already begun to drift from your own truth. This is the grace of healing. It doesn't erase the pain, but it transforms the meaning. You no longer need to carry the weight of unanswered questions. The need to assign blame or find fault dissolves. In its place rises a quiet reverence for the journey, yours, theirs, and the divine choreography that brought you together and then guided you apart. The space they left behind is not empty. It's sacred. It is the fertile soil where new love rooted in truth and mutual healing will one day bloom. When the cosmic dance between Venus and Chiron comes to rest, the skies may look the same, the world may appear unchanged, but you, beloved Leo, will not be the same. Something within you will have softened, unraveled, awakened. The armor that once felt necessary will feel too heavy to carry, and the walls you built to protect your heart will have cracks that let the light in. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to fear your tenderness. You are not emerging as a wounded warrior, but as a radiant sovereign, still fierce, but now whole. Your heart cleansed by the fires of truth and the waters of release becomes a beacon for what is aligned with your healed self. You no longer attract what matches your pain. You magnetize what resonates with your wisdom, your boundaries, your authenticity. Conversations deepen, glances linger with meaning, and new connections begin to form, not from need but from resonance. Even those who remain in your life begin to respond to your new frequency. They either rise to meet your truth or gracefully fade away, making room for what serves your growth. And perhaps most beautifully, you find yourself responding differently. Where once you would have clung, now you let go. Where once you would have hidden, now you open. Where once you would have overgiven, now you offer love from a place of balance, of rooted presence. This is the quiet miracle of healing. It doesn't just change what you receive. It transforms how you give. As the days unfold and the energy of this transit settles into your bones, you may feel more like yourself than you ever have. The self that loves boldly, but no longer abandons her own needs. The self that trusts her heart, not because it's unbreakable, but because it has broken and healed, and now pulses with wisdom. This is the beginning of a new chapter in your sacred story, Leo. One written not from fear or longing, but from wholeness. One in which your light no longer burns for validation, but simply shines freely, fully, and with divine purpose. And so as we close this sacred space together, I want you to truly know that you are not walking this path alone. I'm Luna Celestine, and it has been an honor to sit with your heart during this tender, transformative moment. If your tears have come, let them fall. If your heart feels a little lighter, hold that feeling close. Because what you're experiencing isn't fleeting, it's real. It's the quiet beginning of a deeper, more truthful relationship with yourself and with the love you were always meant to receive. Remember, Leo, healing doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's a breath, a memory, a choice to stop running and finally listen. You are being rewoven by the stars, not into someone new, but back into the fullness of who you are. So take your time, be gentle, and when the world asks who you are becoming, you can simply smile and say, someone who loves from wholeness now. Until next time, keep your heart open and your light undimmed. I'll be right here beneath the same stars, walking with you.